hold up.
My name is Sebastian Castellanos. I am a third year college student going into my junior year. I'm on the men's soccer team and I'm a business major. My hometown is Marietta, California. I'm here right now, but previously I was at Cal State Los Angeles.
What are your future goals?
My future goals, definitely try and see what I can do with soccer. Hopefully make it professional. That is the ultimate, goal and the dream. But obviously, beyond soccer or after my career, hopefully stay in the game. If that means through coaching, or if that means through my business major, maybe on the sports business side of a team. But definitely, stay within the sport and the business.
So you are obviously devoted to soccer, but if you could play any sport that is not soccer, what would you play and why?
I'm actually really into Formula One racing. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but yeah, if I could pick another sport, that it'd definitely be something in motorsport or karting or definitely. But Formula One is my favorite sport for sure.
That's awesome. So you were at a CSU before, so why did you choose to come to Stanislaus State?
Well, definitely feel like I want to take on a new challenge, not only in soccer, but in my academics and in my life. I definitely wanted to transfer to another Cal State. Love the Cal State. I've been enjoying the Cal State system, and I definitely wanted to stay in conference in the CCAA. So Stan State was just the right fit. When I spoke to Coach Morgan and Coach Cam, it just made sense. I had this gut feeling that this was the school for me for sure.
That's awesome. Sometimes you just know where you're supposed to go. So what were some of your favorite TV shows growing up?
TV shows growing up, maybe not when I was younger, but as I got older, I really got into How I Met Your Mother. Definitely watched like every episode at least 3 times.
So How I Met Your Mother has a lot of interesting storylines. So speaking of interesting stories, what is an interesting story or a funny story that you could tell me about yourself that maybe people don't know?
Well, I guess a lot of people ask me how I became a goalkeeper. For those that don't know, a goalkeeper is the player that can use their hands on the soccer field. But I guess I'll tell that story. Growing up, I always played on the field just like anybody else. And my older cousin actually is a goalkeeper, and he still is. He plays professional to this day, actually. And I knew my cousins were going to come watch my game that weekend. And I was 7 years old, so I was like, oh, I want to impress my cousin. I want to impress all of them. I'm gonna try to be a goalie for the game. And I asked the coach, and he was kind of hesitant about it because I was one of the better players on the field. So he was and me being maybe a shorter player, it's not usually who you stick in goal. But definitely did it just so I could impress my cousins, and it stuck. I enjoyed it. I still enjoy it to this day. It's my passion, but. I guess that's my story right there.
Well, that's awesome. That's kind of how you became a goalkeeper, and here you are now. So that's great. Speaking of games and all of that soccer related, do you have a pregame pump-up song that just gets you ready to go out there and play?
Pregame pump-up song. That's good you asked me because I've always been the DJ in the locker room for all my teams, but there's not a specific song. I'm not superstitious like that or anything, but anything reggaeton, like J Balvin, Bad Bunny, that definitely gets me pumped up for the games.
Cool. So what is something that you knew that you learned over your summer break?
I actually got a lot of reading done. Not something that I've really done, but because of the quarantine, it's a skill I wanted to take up. Just reading. I've read about 5 books this year, and but other than that, actually golfing. Never been into golf, and me and my brother, I actually have a twin brother. Me and him decided because it's the social distancing and it's a sport, something to keep us going with the competitive nature. Golfing, definitely.
Do you have a role model in your life, and why are they your role model?
Yeah, I think on the personal side, it would have to be my dad for sure. Both my parents, immigrants from Mexico. Like my dad, he came trying to provide a better life for his future family, me and my two siblings. So he still works very hard to this day. And yeah, well, that would be my role model for sure.
Cool. And speaking about people in your life or people that you can think of, if you could have coffee or lunch with anyone, they can be dead or alive, who would you have coffee or lunch with and why?
Coffee for sure. I would have to be with one of my favorite goalkeepers of all time. He's still playing to this day for Juventus in Italy. His name is Wojciech Szczesny. Not a lot of people are familiar with him. Polish goalkeeper. He used to play at Arsenal. He's been like my idol for goalkeeping and for soccer in general. Because growing up, that's who I watched on the weekends. I would love to have a chat with him and hopefully get some tips and tricks.
This could be soccer, but it sounded like you were very interested in racing as well. So do you have a professional sport that you love to watch the most, and what is the team that you like to watch the most?
Well, soccer, I'll answer both, I guess. Yeah, soccer, favorite team, Arsenal, for sure, in England, in London, England. And in Formula One racing, McLaren, Team McLaren for sure.
Cool. And do you have a favorite movie?
Honestly, never been the biggest movie guy. Like, I kind of just don't have the attention span for that. But like throughout this quarantine, definitely like try to watch some like comedy movies. I would have to say like a couple I watched were like the Step Brothers, like Will Ferrell movies like Talladega Nights. Those type of comedy movies, definitely my favorite type of movie.
I'm sure the comedic relief helps during all of this time. So it sounded like you are into reading. So do you have a favorite book?
Yeah, actually, do I have it right here? I don't. I had it earlier for something, but one I recommend to a lot of people, especially athletes, is The Mindful Athlete by George Mumford. And it's this book that George Mumford is a sports psychologist that worked with basketball teams, like the Bulls, the 97 Bulls, like the 07, 2010 Lakers. He was the sports psychologist, meditation coach for all those teams, and personally for Kobe Bryant as well. So for anybody looking for, like, it's kind of like a self-help book, but also if you're looking to get into like meditation, mindfulness, but in the athletic realm, that's a great read. I would definitely recommend The Mindful Athlete.
That sounds super interesting. There's a lot of interesting aspects that you mentioned of that book, so I'm sure that would be a great book for many athletes and just anyone to read, so that's really cool. Soda or sparkling water?
Oh, sparkling water.
Flip-flops or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Baseball or football?
Baseball.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Fall or spring?
Spring.
The beach or the mountains?
The beach.
Reading or watching?
Reading. Driving
or flying?
Driving.
Bungee jump or skydive?
Neither.
Cardio or strength training?
Cardio.
All right, so that's the end. The bungee jump or skydive one is funny because I can never tell if an athlete doesn't like it or like they want both. So that's a funny one that I've come across. So I'll take your neither answer for that. So that brings me to the end of the entire interview. Thank you so much for coming on Zoom today and doing this interview. I know it's a different situation that we're in, but hopefully I'm able to interview you in person soon.
Perfect. No, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Hold up.